fell for it. I fell for it. Yesterday, I was scrolling through Twitter, trying to just see what's going on in the world of women's basketball. Scrolling through Twitter before I left for the Aces Wings game, and I see this. It's an update post on Twitter, and it says roster update: the Aces have waived Kierstan Bell, and I was like, the Aces waived Kierstan Bell. Wait, Kierstan Bell, the one on a guaranteed contract, the one that the Las Vegas Aces ended up picking up her 4th year. That Kierstan Bell, she's waived. She's gone. What? So I saw that. Now, mind you, I did not notice at the time. I did not notice that that the poster of this was called Las Vegas Aces GM at LeBron Reeds. I didn't notice that. I did not notice that at all. Okay? What I noticed was how you got the roster update graphic that I've seen from the Las Vegas Aces before, right? I've seen that before, and I'm just scrolling, so I'm just like, oh, wow, I'm surprised. I guess they're gonna have to pay her out because she's on a guaranteed contract. But I was like, okay, whatever. I saw that, kept scrolling. Then I go to the game. Walk into Purcell Pavilion. I'm watching the players warm up, and I'm like, wait, isn't that Kierstan Bell? I thought she got waived. And I go back on Twitter, and this time I go on the Aces Twitter account, and I'm like, wait, I don't see this nowhere. She was not waived. And then I went to my bookmarks because, when updates happen, I just bookmark stuff and whatnot. I go to my bookmarks and I'm like, oh my God, I fell for this. I fell for a fake account making an announcement like those troll accounts. I was like, this don't make no sense. I fell for it because when I saw it, I was like, wait, what? And I saw her and I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, dang, they got me. So yeah. I was thinking, oh, she got waved in my head, and then boom, she's right there on the court warming up. She got her warm-ups on, active. Turns out that tweet was fake. It was not from the Aces real account. It was just a random Twitter hoax. So, guys, usually I always catch those things. Usually I'm not someone who falls for the fake stuff that's posted on social media, but yesterday they got me. So this is your friendly reminder. Guys, not everything you see on social media is true. Okay? And actually look at these handles, okay? Don't just be scrolling, see something and be like, "Oh, interesting." And then keep scrolling. Look at actually look at the profile. Okay? Now, if I would have taken more than 5 seconds on this tweet when I first saw it, I would have realized that it's fake. So, yeah. Anyway, this is your friendly reminder, guys. This is your friendly reminder. Okay? Okay. But, you know what is true, guys? Kierstan Bell is still on the roster. And we need to talk about why. Okay? We need to talk about why. So, I thought, you know what? Now that I fell for this hoax, let me actually talk about Kierstan Bell. Because here's the deal. Kierstan Bell is on a guaranteed contract with the Las Vegas Aces. Now, she is likely not getting cut. All right? Because if she does get cut, the Aces will have to buy her out. Or they need to trade her, and the trade capital is not that high on Kierstan Bell. Like, no shade. Like, this is just the truth. It's not that high on Kierstan Bell because she hasn't done much in the WNBA. Right? So unless something major or wild happens, Kierstan Bell will be on this roster come the start of the season because the Aces picked up her 4th year option, which basically just locks her in on a guaranteed contract. So if they cut her, you got to pay her or you got to trade her. All right? So barring any crazy thing, she's here. She's on this team. Now, to be fair, for those people who are like confused as to why Kierstan Bell is still on this team, well, I mean, they have a reason to be confused. Kierstan Bell is someone who has dealt with some injuries last year. Like she dealt with some injuries last year, and there were some games that she was not even available. But for the games that she was available, she rode the bench a lot. She only played in 6 games last season, and in those games, she averaged 7.2 minutes per game in those 6 games she played last season, and 2.8 points in those games. That was in 2024. In 2023, I want to say that Kierstan Bell really did have a breakout performance in 2023. That was her second year in the league, and she had a little bit more time on it, like a little more understanding of the game. Also, the Aces dealt with some injuries that year, and Kierstan played a bigger role. In 2023, Kierstan played in the majority of the games for that year. And in those games, she averaged 11.8 points a game. 11.8 points. 11.8 minutes a game and 3.7 points a game. Still nothing earth-shattering. Nothing earth-shattering at all. But she was pretty, solid at times. Bench production on a team that was full of all-stars and a team that won in 2023 their second WNBA championship. So at this point, Kierstan Bell is a 2-time WNBA champion because she's been on the team throughout that run, albeit for the most part on the bench. And while on the Aces, Kierstan is a bench player, I think sometimes we fail to remember how good a player was before they came to the WNBA. Now, Kierstan Bell in the WNBA, not very good. It just is what it is in terms of what we've seen in terms of production on the court. But in college, the girl was a walking bucket. She finished out her last 2 seasons in college at Florida Gulf Coast University, and that's the same place that Carl Semesco left. Carl Semesco was the head coach of Florida Gulf Coast. Now he is the head coach at Atlanta. But anyway, at Florida Gulf Coast, y'all, Kierstan Bell was fire. She was absolutely fire in college. I'm talking a walking bucket, someone who won the Becky Hammon Mid-Major Player of the Year award twice. Kierstan Bell is legit. Like truly, if you've been rocking with women's basketball for a long time, if you've been paying attention, you know how great of a bucket Kierstan Bell was. She was great in college. Again, 2-time Becky Hammon Mid-Major Award Player of the Year. She was someone who had accomplishments up the wazoo. She finished with Florida Gulf Coast averaging 22.8 points a game. Started every game, made it happen, right? This was someone who was elite on both the offensive and defensive end at Florida Gulf Coast. In her last year at the team, she averaged 7.3 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists per game, 2.1 steals per game, 1.8 blocks a game. Kierstan Bell was amazing in college. She was amazing. She torched players. And she even played well against some Power 5 schools. This was a very talented player, so it makes sense. It makes sense that the decision was made by the Aces to draft her. Right? So the Aces ended up picking up Kierstan Bell as their number 11th pick in the 2022 draft. It wasn't a bad draft pick. It wasn't. Because, again, Becky Hammon, she won the Becky Hammon Award twice. Harmony Turner won that as well. Shout out to Harmony Turner. This is one of those things that it was like, okay, well, the Aces are looking to invest in some younger talent and develop, right? They were interested in developing players to help them reach their ceiling. But, not everybody develops in the way that we expect, right? In the WNBA, there is no working it out on the court, right? There is no G League in the WNBA. There is no taxi squad. There is no real grace period. So you either produce now or you're either waived or you sit on the bench. And Kierstan Bell, well, she ended up, she kept making the roster every single year. Yeah, after she was drafted, she ended up making a roster that year, and then year after that, she made the roster. Year after that, she made the roster, all on non-guaranteed deals. She always found a way to actually make the roster, and she was doing what she could to get better, right? Remember, she played in played in Athletes Unlimited and whatnot. At least she went overseas as well. Like, this is someone who was, trying to do what she could. Oh, yeah, Florida Gulf Coast. Yeah, that's where she went. That's where she went to college, Florida Gulf Coast University, or she went for 2 years at Florida Gulf Coast University. Anyway, Kierstan Bell, she was trying to do what she could to get better in the off season, and she would always make the roster. Okay, and at times she would come in a game and we would see flashes of like, okay, well, Kierstan Bell can actually make some stuff happen. But then we see a lot of other times where Kierstan Bell is just out there and it just doesn't look like a good fit, right? Which leads to a lot of people saying like, hey, what's going on with Kierstan Bell? Because her growth has not seemingly, reached the levels that people were anticipating it to reach, right? She seems like she is, like, the game is still very fast for her. And she's slow to read what's happening on the court and what she needs to do, both on the offensive and defensive end. Now, yes, last year she did deal with some injuries. She did. So to be fair, that is true. But even with the lower production last season, the Las Vegas Aces still decided to extend a 4th-year option on her rookie contract. So that's why this year she is on a guaranteed contract. And so there's that. She has found a place in the Aces locker room. She has found a place with the Aces, even though she doesn't really play. So will Kierstan Bell play a lot of minutes this year? Probably not. Aaliyah Nye will probably play a lot of the minutes that maybe Kierstan Bell may have played. Maybe, Kierstan Bell is not really playing, and she's not really fighting for her life this year in training camp. She's actually fighting for minutes because she already has a guaranteed spot, right? And so hopefully Kierstan Bell comes in this year and into this season and has a breakout year. Hopefully, that would be awesome to see. But I don't think so. I don't think so. But she is on this team, and so yeah, she has a guaranteed contract. If injuries happen and whatnot with this team, hopefully she can come in there, prove her value, and make an impact. I just wanted to let you all know that, like, just because some players maybe on a roster in the WNBA, they may not play that much. You may not think they're very good in the WNBA. In college, y'all, literally, she's a walking bucket. And sometimes it happens. Not everybody develops in the way that we think they should develop. Now, do I think Kierstan Bell should be way better than what she is right now in the WNBA? Yes, I do. But it is what it is. But anyway, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this real quick and just update you all on what is going on with Kierstan Bell. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully she has an unlock for this season. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see it right now, but we'll see. We will absolutely see. Kentucky Rick says, "Is that Mr. President or Princess on the couch?" That's Princess. Yeah, that's Princess on the couch. All right. Row 2 says went away. Some college players don't do well on the professional level, and at the W Rickies, their first year is actually a training camp and getting to know the league, coach, team, playbook. Yeah. ALX says Draymond Green was a walking bucket in college. Now he does something else in the league. Gotta find what you're good at in the pros. Yes, that is true. Find your role and be very, very good at your role. Okay. Thank you so much. The Million Mile Man. Are you running a million miles? Like, what's the deal with the million miles? So appreciate you keeping us up with what's going on. Everyone hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button. That really does help the channel out a whole lot.